Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. We're taking a look at some currency pairs for today and for the rest of this week as things are heating up here in the New York session. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and let's jump into some trading ideas. Okay, so EURUSD is one that I actually am short on right now. I'm not logged in, but this one is something that I shorted up in this region, which so far has been doing pretty well, and I still think has more downside to come. So taking a look at EURUSD, I do think that we have, again, a potential target move back down to the previous low. That is something that I've mentioned on my streams recently, and as a target, I think it's pretty reasonable. You may be asking, well, Nick, what tells us we're going down there? Well, a simple concept that I use, which is the idea of trending, right? When something is trending, we are expecting for it to make new lows. We're expecting for it to make new highs if it's in a upward trend. So overall, I'm expecting the euro dollar to continue to decline. And after we came up into this area of resistance, I decided it was worth the short. So that's where I am personally at. But for people who are not yet in any trades or who are considering what they should do next on the euro USD, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. So we're still continuing to oscillate between these two levels. I would really like for price to either, if you're looking to be a bear like myself, I'm looking for price to either do one of two things. Perhaps it either retests up here, in which case maybe there's a chance for people who are bearish to try again at this level. We have been very range bound, but more importantly to me, what I'm very much interested in seeing is a break of structure here. So looking left, you can see that we have market structure holding here around the 1.048 level. I'm looking for that to fail in order for me to get down to my target. I think that there may be some intraday opportunities, and that's where we should probably jump down to the 1 hour chart. So let's take a look at the 1 hour here for a second. And so looking at the 1 hour, what we can see is that we did get a pretty good rejection off of this area. So what I'm looking for is failure perhaps intraday. Maybe if you're really short biased, you're looking at this area, but perhaps, you know, something like this. If we can get some fade, if we can see some rollover and we can get that break underneath, that's going to be kind of the key, in my opinion, to seeing that eventual decline down to our target area. So that's my personal thoughts on Euro USD. Again, right now we're a bit caught up in a range as we've been going back and forth between this area and this area. But again, full transparency, I am short around these areas. Actually, I think I got short over on these candles, but it's up in this general region. I'm short here, looking for a eventual move back down to the previous swing low and perhaps even beyond. We'll get there when we get there, but of course that's where we're currently at. Let's take a look at another popular one. Let's take a look at GU here for a second, pound USD, and see what's going on with the pound dollar. So pound dollar is sitting just underneath a level of support that was broken here at the start of the New York session / end of London session, or I guess mid-London session. So we had a big support level that the pound dollar was not able to break through. And here on the 1 hour chart, for those of you guys who are trading this here today or for the rest of the week, watch this level very closely, because this, unlike the euro dollar, has already done the move that we just discussed. It tried to bounce at a major level of support and failed. And this is exactly what I'm, in my personal situation with euro USD, looking for the price to do. I'm looking for some sort of dead cat bounce, some sort of failure at support, and you know, a break underneath major structure. So for the traders out there who are looking at pound USD, here's something to consider. We're still seeing the stock market selling off. We're still seeing a risk off environment, which tends to assist a more downward pressured pound USD. So if we were to make a move here down to the previous low, you know, somewhere in this region here, targeting the previous low, if that were to happen, you're talking about a significant move of 200 pips to the downside. So for the pound USD bears, perhaps watch this area closely. If we get a nice clear below this area, you know, maybe we get another candle or two to the red, something like that, a pullback, just showing that we've really cleared this level looking left. And then we start rolling over. The risk to reward on this sort of flush to the downside could be phenomenal, especially if the stock market starts taking a dip. I mean, market structure looking left right here, really don't want to see price jump back above that. So stops would probably, in my personal opinion, be up around 1.2239. I like that a lot. And then looking to see if we can get the rollover effect on pound USD. Again, in sympathy would be looking potentially at the S&P 500. Here's SPX 500, and you can see that we really rejected on the daily chart this area here of what was support over here now turned resistance. Beautiful, beautiful sell-off. Frank and I were looking at this in the office and just saying, man, I wish that didn't work so well for the sellers, because both of us, of course, are invested in stocks. But that was such a nice resistance point, such a rejection from the sellers, and causing the stock market here to pull down a little bit. Of course, when that happens, that's going to drag some of the individual currency pairs down as well. And a lot of them happen to be things like pound USD, right? So if we take a look at pound USD here for a second, what I want to show you guys is that when something like pound USD is at the bottom, what that's telling us is that Aussie dollar and pound dollar, those are risk on currency pairs, meaning people will tend to buy those during a good time. So when we see pound USD getting sell ratings, we have to be very cautious. The trend is to the downside. There's a lot of momentum here on this pair to the downside, hence why it gets a trend. Well, actually the trend is up right now, which is a bit confusing. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that that's correct. That's a bit of a weird reading. Either ways, we'll look past it for a second. I assume, it's because the moving averages there are just a bit tumbled up. But once this starts to clear out in the next few days, that will probably turn back to a negative reading. So either ways, let's look at some of the other key components that we look at with the Edge Finder. So check this out. The Edge Finder has us looking at the commitment of traders data and telling us that this is a strong sell on the pound USD. Retail sentiment, conversely, also, the crowd is super long on this. If the crowd is going long, we tend to want to be against the crowd because the crowd tends to lose money. So we're short biased. Seasonality, let's take a look at that here. We'll take a look at the data that the Edge Finder has. So down here, look at this, month of June, very negative, and so is the month of July. So we have a pretty clear historical tendency to go down during the summer months on the pound dollar. So that's another thing in our favor. And then economic data, you can see GDP growth is the only thing favorited in the UK, but everything else is favorited to the US. So it gives us that sell rated bias, selling the pound, buying the US dollar. Let's take a look at one more. We'll take a look at gold here today and see what's going on with this one. So gold still under the sell pressure of the market. We have a downward trend. This one's hard to deny. At some point, I would like to buy this, but we're just not getting the breakout. We have seen consistently this sort of lower high structure, this downward trending nature. And so for the bulls, we'd love to see it, but we're just not getting it. We need some break. We need some momentum to pick up. Nice start to the day. We'll see if that can play out. You know, big idea would be if we can break structure and we start trending the other way, then yeah, I'd be willing to potentially go long. But still, we've had such headway, and gold has been a sell on our scanner for a long time here. So I'm waiting for it to flip, but it has not yet flipped. Seasonality does actually pick up in July and August. That's a positive for the pair. And then you also have right now, the crowd is super long, so that's just not super attractive to me on gold. So avoiding gold, and I probably would have avoided, well, I did avoid a lot of losses by not buying any gold here due to the scanner telling me not to do so, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, or at least the bias to not do so. So that's where we're at with gold. Guys, what I do want to say, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want access to our market scanner, if you'd like to try it out, what we'll do is we'll drop a pinned message in the comment section down below. That comment will have a link to send a message to one of our team members. You can get access right now to the Edge Finder for a major discount. In fact, if you send them a message and you work with them, you'll get 45% off if you work with one of our team members, and they'll ask you a few questions and make sure that you're all set with the software. So if that's something you would like, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below, hit the pinned comment link, or check out the link in the description to get access to the Edge Finder. Again, it's how I find all of my trade. It's my market scanner, and our team has worked tremendously hard on building it. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you back next time. See you later. Looks like it's time for your next trading video. Check out the videos here and here for more free trading content that should help you in your trading journey. We try and keep it real here, so make sure to subscribe for more content that is down to earth, realistic Forex trading content. See you in the next video.